So in today's web dev tip, we're going to take a look at how you can create a new Git branch in your JavaScript project. So in a previous tutorial, what we did is we set up a new project and initialized it as a Git repository. But what we're going to do in this tutorial is just create a new branch for you to start working on. So you'll notice when we created our Git repository initially, we've created one branch only, and that is the master branch, which is what Git uses by default when you create a new repository. And that's fine, but some people would prefer to use a different name for the main branch of your project. So we're going to create a new branch called main, and we can use this then to store our changes on. So to create a new branch in Git from the command line, we simply use the git checkout command, and then we pass in the -b option, and then just give it the name of the branch that you want to create. So in this case, I'm just going to create a new branch called main. And you can see there we've now switched to a new branch called main, and that's represented in the terminal here. It shows us the current branch that we're working on here. And this doesn't actually make any changes to our code. You'll notice that here in Visual Studio Code in the Git section, there is no changes to actually track. So creating a new branch in Git simply just moves you to that new branch and takes any changes that you've got in your current working set. But at the moment there is nothing here. So we could just make a small change within, say, our package.json file. Let's say we'll update the description of this project to something like my new super cool project. And if we save that, you can see that we've got that change now being tracked within Visual Studio Code, or rather in Git. And you can see that on the command line as well. You can say git status and it will show you the modified file. So this is the same sort of view on the command line as you would see in your source control within Visual Studio Code. And as we did before, if you want to commit this change to the branch, but this time it's going to be the main branch that we're on, we just simply say git add all of the files and then git commit, and we'll give it a meaningful message like update description, for example. So that's how you create a new branch in Git. If you want to see all of the available branches that you have in your repository, you can just simply type git branch, and you can see there it shows us we've got main and master. And of course, if you want to flip back to a previous branch or another branch that you may have created, we say git checkout and then the name of the branch. So if we go back to the master branch, for example, then the change to the description was actually made on the main branch. So that description text has now been removed from the package.json file. So there's lots more you can do with Git branching. And of course, as soon as you start working on features for your project, you can put those onto separate branches to keep them separate from the main repository if you need to while other work is going on. But hopefully that's shown you how you can create a new branch in Git and then flip between different branches. So that's it for this tutorial. Make sure you stay tuned for more web dev tips.